What's going on, ladies and gents, and welcome back to more Rainbow Six Siege. And today we're going to be talking about Operation Grim Sky Balancing Feedback. Now, this is still just on the test server, as I accidentally smacked my microphone. I'm sorry about that. So we don't know if this will go fully live in the game, but there is a good chance of it because we don't really know how long the TTS or TS will be allowed anymore. So first, let's talk about the newcomers. So Maverick is getting a lot of touching up and changes to his gadget. So, as you know, his blowtorch is very effective against barbed wire, almost instantaneously erasing it from the face of the earth. Well, this here will now increase the time than damage required to destroy barbed wire. It's really good. It's even less than, they're aiming for approximately 2 seconds to destroy barbed wire with the torch, down from it's not even a second. It's like a millisecond. It's disgusting. So it'll not just take the health of a single melee swing to destroy it afterwards. So essentially, the idea is they don't want the blowtorch to be a faster super sledge, because he does replace sledge in a lot of that degree, where he just clears out a lot of debris very quickly. They don't want everyone else's utility, if you want to throw grenades maybe nearby, to be obsolete. Maverick does destroy utility very, very strong, very, very quickly. So let's see. Maverick is currently too good at removing the defender's barbed wire. It will now take half of a canister to destroy a single barbed wire, approximately 2 seconds. Shooting for 1 second will still reduce the health of barbed wire, and it will only take a single melee swing afterwards to destroy it. So really trying to put it in line with all the other gadgets, not trying to make it too overpowered and everything else. Secondly, he's losing his smoke grenades and being replaced with flat stun grenades. So Maverick's kit apparently gives him too much utility, and I kind of agree with that. The smoke grenades in Claymore allow him to play the supporting role very strong, but in this regard now he can swap between the support role and an offensive role with an M4, now with flashbang, so he can stun, clear an area, move in, and murder everyone, instead of, watching a longer angle, having a Claymore potentially lock down a hallway, and he can sit a little farther back with his AR-1550, which is a very good DMR, might I add you. Very good weapon, and it allows him to play a different role. Also, removing the amount of smoke grenades is good because GLAZ is still a thing, and with this sight realignment fixes and adjusts, it does make his recoil a lot less, making it a lot easier for him to hit shots now. So, yay, GLAZ is powerful again. Anyways, blowtorch volume. Slightly increase the volume of the blowtorch. We agreed with the feedback we have received regarding the amount of noise that Maverick's gadget produces. So I guess this means that his gadget is now louder. That's cool. Okay. I can understand that. I mean, I was able to hear it before, but it definitely took me a little bit to get used to it. But this is cool. They do want to make it a little bit louder, and this does incite more teamwork now. Something I always do when I open up a wall or something, or a little hole to move through, or whatever I need to do with Maverick, is either have someone sit on a drone, make sure that room's clear, or have them watch the peek hole as I'm opening the way, and they just shoot the guy who's looking after me, because obviously they're going to be following the incendiary line to shoot me. Instead, my buddy can capitalize on that kill and kill them instead. Kind of what Maverick's intended for, though. So the blowtorch fuel cost will also be changed. We cannot increase the fuel cost for breaching, but we can reduce the overall ammo that they have, though, but would wait for more data prior to making this change. So I guess they're not actually changing how much fuel is. This was kind of interesting for them to put in the patch notes. I don't really know why this was listed here. It seems kind of silly. Maybe they're just trying to address what people are stating. So maybe they want it to have less fuel to actually open up holes. But if you're efficient with it, it should take you about 3 canisters to really open up a vault hole, or even less to open up a prone hole to crawl through if you want to enter. So I don't see the big issue with it, but at the same time, it's kind of like whatever, I guess. What I guess it's just them addressing it, though. So, blowtorch range. We prefer to avoid reducing the range of the blowtorch if all possible. This is an extremely delicate aspect of his gadget, as we require months of work to adjust to ensure the gadget still works properly in all situations. If this is absolutely necessary, we will discuss it further down the line, but this will be the last resort adjustment. So his blowtorch already welds at 2 meters. 2 meters isn't, that far. I know in Siege, distance can seem kind of weird, like Clash's shield shocks you up to 13 meters, at least from the ping's measurements. So, yeah, it may seem like a very far distance. Remember, it is a CQB game. So at the end of the day, if you're just standing there letting him open the thing and he's standing a little far back, that's just him being a smarter player. It's like fighting a bandit trick or anything else. It's fine. It's just 2 meters. You should still be able to capitalize on a lot of it. And it's not like it's actually down the hall or anything. So it could be a lot. I mean, it could be a giant flame that comes down the hall. Remember, it could be that worse. All right. So apparently now let's move into Clash. So Clash is getting apparently some changes. Well, not really some changes. We're going to monitor Clash's performance, but do not see an immediate need to draft or any drastic changes. There may be some tweaks in Year 3, Season 3.2. I don't know. I guess that means their update. So I guess version 1 is what we're getting, depending on what we see when Grimm's Guide goes live. So I guess 0.2 is what they're referring to now as the mid-season reinforcement. So Recoil. This is something I hope they actually really didn't touch too much, but they might be addressing some stuff. Shotgun Recoil. Shotgun Recoil is not working as intended, but we are going to fix it. Excellent. Good. Fix that. That's fine. So the big one here is the machine pistol recoil also. So as you guys know, the secondary SMGs for Smoke, Hibana, Echo, Sledge, Dokkaebi, Vigil, I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. The main super primary SMGs, secondary things. So they're not going to rush into any adjustments for changing them, which is fine because you really want them to be strong, powerful CQB weapons and don't want to give the option to everyone to run around them as primaries. Because Smoke at this point, his primary was the SMG-11 and his secondary was like the shotgun, which made him a very strong utility operator and just still kept him in a very powerful position. So hopefully they don't necessarily change it too much because pistols also do have their own benefits of increasing your speed by almost a tier while sprinting. So they do have benefits, and you kind of want people to see that a little bit too, the added benefits of both. So we'll see where this goes down in the future. So it looks like Hibana is being changed up. So after people have been kind of iffy on the whole needing 6 pellets to land on a hatch to open it, this is being changed, reducing the number of pellets to destroy a hatch from 6 to 4. With the changes to how our game handles non-binary hatch destruction, multiple X-Chiral pellets are required to destroy a hatch. In order to prevent the issue, 1 to 2 pellets not landing properly on the hatch and requiring a secondary volley of pellets, we reduce the total number required. So I guess pretty much they're saying that they haven't fixed the whole pellet thing popping off of walls and hatches yet. So they're going to reduce the number down to actually make sure it opens, which I guess is kind of lazy fixing on their end, but whatever. As long as it makes Hibana still useful, still able to open up hatches, doesn't change too many strategies, especially when you want to distance shot some Hibana pellets like standing behind the white van and Oregon to open up that hatch. Very important things for strategies. Alright, so this one's pretty PogChamp, I'm not going to lie. Zofia is losing one of her concussion mines, is now going down to 3. Now this is a big thing because remember, Clash is an operator now, and whenever you hit her with a concussion mine, she stumbled and dropped her shield a little bit. So you're now going to have even less utility to deal with Clash, but Zofia probably being one of the strongest counters to her because of the double explosive grenade that she could pop at her. Capitao was most seen because of his fire arrow with zoning, but Clash was able to escape, with Zofia being able to hit 2 consistent, very quick explosive shots at Clash. Very different from Capitao, but can effectively remove and, if not really, change up that Clash's opinion on trying to fight you these days. So here's something that makes me a little bit happier. Alright, so Glaz will no longer be able to destroy Castle's armored if I could speak, thank you. Glaz, I was going to try to say barricades, but it says panels here, and I'm trying to stumble on my own words. So Glaz can no longer destroy Castle's armored panels. I don't think I've ever been happier to hear that. So the thing with Glaz is that it really puts a damper on the other gadgets, in this regard at least, just talking about the castle panels, because he has because he has the ability just to shoot them down, and he can also penetrate. So if he's shooting at a wall and someone's trying to use it for cover, it's going to kill you. Then also destroys the barricade. Sure, it takes 12 shots, but he still has a thermal scope. At the end of the day, he opens up his own sightlines. He's an operator that can take care of his own needs. He really doesn't fall within the whole teamwork mentality, and I'm not sure why this hasn't been adjusted yet. I think that they were trying to make him too much of a utility operator, where he benefits the team too much to the point where he becomes his own little team. It's a CQB game where you don't regen health. He does like 70 damage per shot, and you can't respawn. So yeah, it's a very powerful operator. Your foot sticking out what you think's cover, dead. So yeah, Glaz in any way you nerf him makes me happy, because I hate Glaz. Alright, Dokkaebi's duration of phone calls. Implementing a time limit for the phone calls, 7 to 8 seconds, and the call ends is interesting, but requires UI development. This is not something we're going to include in Grimsky, but something we can look to in the future. So, I guess they wanted to, I guess people were saying that Dokkaebi is very powerful, because she can call every operator, right? She doesn't have to select a few, there's no radius around her, and I think that instead of changing Dokkaebi to make her work differently, I like the idea of her duration call. 7 to 8 seconds is not a bad time limit. And it makes the enemy have to actually move in, and it makes it so the defender doesn't have to just sit there and go, oh my god, my phone is still ringing. My phone is still ringing. Why is my phone still ringing? So I guess they would have to change this just to kind of like a jackal bar, like when you're getting scanned, it kind of ticks down a little bit on the side there, or like the lesion mines when it's about to tick you for another drop of poison. They'll probably just have to make it reverse, which is fine. And I like the change. I like the idea, and this is something they should have implemented. Dokkaebi isn't broken, but when your phone can ring forever and the enemy team's very coordinated and constantly sends volley and volley of attack on you, and you constantly have to sit there worrying about them coming after you and your phone just ringing, it does begin to be a little bit of a problem and a little bit of an annoyance. And because mute jammers only have such a limited range and you can't scatter them all throughout the objective, creating a giant EMP mute zone, well, you're going to run into a lot of issues. So, yeah, there's a lot of changes coming to the TTS, or at least they're going to try and implement. I like how they're addressing even people's suggestions as well. This was something good and important to cover in a video, because obviously we want to know everything that's going on with their mind. It's finally opening up with some sort of transparency between Ubisoft and the community, because sometimes we just spawn in and all of a sudden everyone looks like a clown. It's like, what happened? Like, oh, we thought it fits the theme of the game better. But you know, so overall, at least they're not making too many different changes. I'm really enjoying the sight alignment. I like how every gun seems viable. It makes every operator a lot more viable, and it makes it so it's finally like real recoil to control instead of just having your gun bounce all over the place, but the bullets are just coming out of the buttstock the whole time. It makes it feel like an actual shooter finally, and this is good. So it's rewarding more skill instead of just kind of spraying in general direction. So I'm looking forward to all these changes. These all seem good, because, you know, at least they're not overdoing anything. I guess the thing is they're all trying to make sure every operator's in line, and at least they're admitting to some of their mistakes too with the whole Hibana pellet situation. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section of all these changes that are coming to the operators. If you do want to read the patch notes yourself, they will be located down below in the description down there, because you probably want to educate yourselves too. It's very important. So if you guys enjoy it, make sure to do subscribe. Check out our Twitch channel. We'll be live streaming over there after this video goes live and the TTS gets updated. So yeah, I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.